Uh, I wanted to express my gratitude and thanks for a friend of mine who gave me a call yesterday and let me know that his videos, or my videos, his videos, I guess we're all one anyway, uh, have been actually helping him, and it has changed. He has made a radical change in a matter of weeks just by, I guess, applying sort of the information that I've been delivering. And also, he's been showing other people these videos, and I'm getting positive reviews, and it's quite nice to see that what I'm saying resonates with people, and that I'm not just totally talking alone to my cell phone out in the woods. But I've been looking for, that next subject to pop up for about a week now, and it just, like, right now came to me about the true path, or the true calling, or the highest self. And this, what's my path or what's my calling, those questions, I could honestly say I think I was absolutely tormented by the answer not being there, basically. I couldn't figure it out. In many ways, I still don't have it figured out. But I'd like to share an idea with you that maybe you can get, I guess, a piece of your puzzle from. But you have to excuse the dogs. I guess they're out here enjoying the weather as well. So, but your true path, your true calling. I remember one of my meditation sessions, I was looking around at my environment, and I thought that if everything is a reflection, in a metaphor, in most cases, or some cases, of parts of me, then I must be, what I'm seeing. But as I've expressed many times before, if you're defining yourself by the form in which your reflection presents itself back to you, you could be possibly missing the point. And so I thought, well, also, if you're looking at a mirror, everything is backwards. And sort of how I've experienced reality and how I've come to understand my perspective is that my experience is sort of inside out. It's not quite backwards like a mirror, but it's more inside out. And so when I thought, what is my truth, or what is my highest self, the answer popped in my head that what you see in front of you is not here for you to be, but it's here to set you free. And I really thought about that, and I was like, okay, now I get it. There was a quote that imitation is suicide. And what that basically means is that if we're imitating what we think we're supposed to be, we're basically being something that's already being done, and therefore being less of our true, authentic, unique self. And so when I thought about it, I also was meditating that everything that I'm experiencing is here for me to learn from, and to apply to myself, and to see how me applying myself to my reality will, I guess, give me different results. And so I thought about that for a while too. And then back to the question, what's my true self? If what I'm seeing is not me, and what I would like to imitate or be like is parts of me, so my environment is everything and nothing. So this gives me absolutely no guidance whatsoever on what is my true path, my true calling. But then it came to me that if everything is here to learn from, to set me free, and that it's not to imitate, but to experience, then my true path, my highest self, my highest calling, without putting a form or a job title on it, would basically be something I've never seen before. And I thought that was groundbreaking for me, because a lot of people go, that musician, I want to do that, or that engineer, I want to create those things, or that artist, I want to paint like that. If everything you're seeing is a reflection in your own way of what you already contain within you, then that is parts of the true or higher self, but it is not the higher self. That higher self is already taken, and you're unique. So every time you attempt to imitate your environment based on how much you like it, and your likes depend on how much you see is similar, and the similarities will dictate if you infatuate or resent, unite or divide, then with all of that process happening, that is not you. So if you see something that you really like, you're only focusing on the similarities, And if you infatuate with that, if you see more similarities than differences between you and what it is you're witnessing, then you will automatically inject the values of that person and their path onto you, and you will imitate that, and resulting in minimizing your true self. So you'll follow the path of someone else, which is not true to yourself. You'll most likely experience a lot of challenge, because challenge is sort of the negative driving force to keep you on course. So I'm trying to do it like that, I'm trying to be like that. That's, just like that guy, or that way, or that specific form. And then you get all this challenge. That resistance is to say, hey, you're stepping out of your authentic self and trying to be something that you're only a part of. And the reason why you like it is because it's reflecting back to you, in a metaphorical sense, something you already have within yourself. So if everything is only a piece that's reflecting back to you pieces of what you already have within, in a different language or a different form, metaphorical or symbolic, then everything you've seen is not what you're going to be or what you're becoming. What you're becoming and what you're being, your path and your authentic self, is unique, and it's never been done before. Now, there may be similarities, and other people may identify similarities with you, with your unique self, but your life is unique. Your perspective is unique. Your set of experiences is unique. Your thought processes are, for the most part, unique. And so, as your truest, highest path of your authentic self is something you've never seen before. So if you're ever looking for the external, the environment, to dictate or validate who you feel and know that you are authentically, then you're never going to get that validation. Because the validation is merely just someone else saying, yeah, you're doing it like me, therefore you must be doing it right. And that's a validation of ego or identification or form. And that's, if we get into seeking validation or approval from the outside sources, no man can serve two masters. So either you are validating and approving and accepting yourself, and living your life from the inside out, or you're basically living life from the outside in, and your authentic self gets suppressed. And then the challenge of presenting itself maybe in difficulties, sickness, symptoms, pains, things like that, which are a part of life, is there to let you know that once you go into the challenge and find the reward, what you will be finding is a piece of your authentic self, which is a part of your highest calling, your truest path, which is a process of becoming. You can't necessarily expect life to say, this is your calling, this is your path, boom, go. It's a process. Being is becoming. Someone wrote that to me a while back, and I loved it. Being is becoming. So if you're being true, being authentic, then you are becoming what it is that you are designed or created to be by the grand organized design, God, source, life, love, however you choose to express the idea of the ultimate infinite. So, to wrap it up, being is becoming. If you're looking for your true path, your highest calling, it's what you're normally inspired to do when you have free time. Because when you have extra money, that money will go to one of your highest values. And if you have extra time, your time will go to your higher value. So what you spend the most time doing, where you spend the most money, where you spend your most energy, mentally and physically, are all indications of your highest value. Your highest value is going to be the most important thing to the authentic self, and most likely the way you express these values, since they are unique, is going to be something you've never seen before. So if you're looking for it, you're still becoming it, but you just might never see it. And it could take 30 years, and then one day you wake up and you go, wow, I've lived a perfect life the way I intended it to, while looking for how to live a perfect life. And so if we stay true to our calling, which is really nothing more than, if you need motivation, it's not your calling. And I know that might sound a bit brutal, but if someone has to literally talk you into it or convince you to do it, or you have to you'll only do it for a certain amount of money under certain conditions. Motivation is conditional, but inspiration is unconditional. If you're motivated, you're forced or pushed from the outside in to conform or express a certain value that is not your highest. But if you're inspired, you're already doing it. And that's like a big key, or was for me. And I was like, what am I already doing? Where do I spend my time? What excites me the most? What if I was busy, like beyond all busyness, and someone asked me to do one thing, what would I drop everything for and do right that moment? And that moment of taking away all the things that I'm motivated to do by salary or by seeking approval and things like that, and I was immediately inspired to go do something, that act of inspiration and that expression is a clue into your highest value. And your highest value is where you're going to be most authentic. So if you're constantly seeking approval and motivations and pick-me-ups and people even to, make you feel good enough to make it through the day, then you're either not expressing your highest value because maybe you haven't realized it, or you haven't recognized the void yet that is present there to bring light to the value. And eventually, if you are addicted to supports like motivation and even positive quotes, that can be an addiction. Addicted to approval, if you're hooked on certain people making you feel a certain way and your day just wouldn't be great without them because the infatuation is so big at this point, it's breaching, addiction. Then it's wise to step back and look at what you feel is missing, not what you think is missing based on what you see, but what you feel is missing, what you'd love to do in that moment if failure did not exist and success was guaranteed. If money and time were infinite to you in that moment, what would you be doing now? And most likely that's what you'd be doing for the rest of the day and possibly the rest of your life. And well, there you go. That must be your true calling. If you always have the energy to do it, and if you love it, truly love it, it is your highest self, someone's going to pay you for that service. So now you have an abundance of income based on what you love to do, and what you love to do energizes you, so now you have an abundance of energy to get it done. This is all called inspiration. It's an automatic movement from the outside or the inside out. Once you have all that, that's the majority, I personally believe, of your true calling or your life's path or your destiny. And so you can approach this in any way possible. You can approach it from, your spiritual quest could be expressed through a dream career, or your spiritual quest could be expressed through raising what you would call a perfect family. Because everyone has a different highest value, which is their spirituality. That's the crown chakra, the formless here. Everyone's highest value is expressed differently and spiritually. And if we link them together and we go, this value, this practice, this expression, then we're pretty solid, I believe, in our true path, our destiny, and our highest calling. And you'll know when you're out of line with that based on what your body tells you. If you're aches and pains, sicknesses and syndromes, then you're experiencing a lot of challenge. And challenge is like the barriers on a highway. If you go too far out of the true path, you'll hit a wall and you'll grind, And some people, they'll grind it all the way until they make it through, and they'll commit destiny suicide, if you will. And maybe that's their destiny all along. I don't know. And some people, we live this life where we hit a wall and we overcorrect and we hit another wall. Positive, negative, manic depression, bipolar disorder going. But eventually, once you learn that the walls are not there to destroy your efforts, but they're actually there, the challenges are there to keep you on the path, you can, for the most part, not overcorrect and not beat yourself up too much if you happen to hit a wall or go over the line. Because it's there to keep you safe. And eventually, once you get the hang of how it feels to be in control and, I guess, driving your life. That's my new one. I just got a car, but driving your life, then eventually you learn to steer quite nicely, and the challenges on the path don't necessarily affect you as much as you would think. And then the real challenge becomes maintaining that balance. So there's no way out of challenge, but we don't have to go into the extremes where we're hitting and bouncing off the walls, trying to be something that we're not when we're here. This is here, present in the center, being authentic and loving ourselves to the highest power that we can in expression to our greatest and highest value. So if you're wondering what your true path is, you've probably never seen it because you're on it. And if you're wondering what your highest calling is, you probably haven't heard it because you're living it. And if you don't feel that way, take a look at your current challenges, find the reward, which is bringing the value into light, bring the value into the void, and then express the fulfillment of that void through that value, and you'll be probably right on point. So outside of that, I'm going to go inside and study some music cognition. It's fascinating how music affects our psychology, and yeah, maybe I'll be out later to enjoy some sunlight. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and lots of love, lots of light, and lots of everything. Let's live abundant, fulfilling, authentic lives, and I'll catch you next time.